Welcome to the March Home. I'm super excited. You guys remember we had Tears Arntz who came on the show to talk a little bit about the Steel Mags and the Green Beret Foundation. Well, I've got the pulse behind the Green Beret Foundation. Miss Angie, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm super excited. So we're at the CARE Coalition. We have a lot of organizations that are here talking about serving our wounded, ill, and injured special operations guys. And you guys have a pretty specific mission at the Green Beret Foundation, serving our elite special forces, the only special forces there are in the military. Tell me a little bit about the Green Beret Foundation.
The Green Beret Foundation, we were stood up in 2009. Since inception, we've helped about 2,300 families, Green Berets and their families. We actually help them in their next ridgeline, which would be their...
We can start the whole thing over. Watch this.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. But just have a conversation with me.
Okay.
So you're good. Welcome to the March Home. I'm Brian Anderson. We're at the CARE Coalition Conference, and I'm so lucky to have from the Green Beret Foundation, Miss Angie. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad that you're on the show. I have been a big fan of the Green Beret Foundation, mainly because I'm a Green Beret, and who doesn't like their own kind, right?
Right.
So can you tell me a little bit about the Green Beret Foundation? What is it that you guys do for our elite special forces?
We provide programs and services for Green Berets and their families. We were founded in 2009, and since inception, we've helped about 2,300 families.
Wow.
And we help them with extended care, programs and services, family care, transition support. Pretty much we fill the gaps that the DoD or the VA do not cover.
I've seen you guys do this in a miraculous way. Just jump in when you hear Green Berets injured, and next thing you know, you have their whole family supported for helping them get to their bedside. You guys have been around since 2009. What are some of the goals that the Green Beret Foundation has set for themselves in serving that population?
We want to raise awareness to Green Berets and their mission, and how we can provide and fill those gaps that are needed within the community for travel support, lodging, gift cards for help with boarding dogs, or just whatever the gaps are. And we want to get in there and help as soon as possible.
But now you guys are doing something else too. Like you're doing the supporting after wounded, ill, or injured, and that's a huge piece. I can tell you that I've seen it firsthand for some of my brothers, how you guys have been over there to help them. But you're helping guys who have served in the special operations community, then are transitioning out. You have a program, what is it, the Next Ridgeline?
The Next Ridgeline, yes.
What's the goal of the Next Ridgeline, and what are you doing with that?
The goal of the Next Ridgeline is to help Green Berets get connected to resources that maybe, after 16 years of war, they've been in country serving our country, so they haven't been able to build their network, get resources that they need, maybe get into certain industries that match their MOS. Just provide them the tools to be able to be a successful transition from team room to the boardroom, basically.
Are you making those connections at the Green Beret Foundation? Are they reaching out to these organizations and finding different pathways for the guys?
We've been building momentum to where big companies are actually reaching out to us saying that we want Green Berets, they're leaders, they're problem solvers, they're self-starters. We want them to apply the same, qualities that they have in country to their companies.
Why did the Green Beret Foundation start?
It started because Aaron Anderson, he's our founder, he was wounded, and when he got to Walter Reed, he saw that there was some gaps, that weren't being filled. Everybody thinks special forces, they have the most support, when in actuality they probably had the least. We're serving, our guys are in over 110 countries at all times, and that's probably the lower end of the estimate, but we have to support them in what they're doing, so.
110 countries right now as we're doing this interview, at the
Yes.
low end of countries that Green Berets are in.
Correct.
And there's only about 6,000 Green Berets that are on active status.
Right. They're holding down the fort, so conventional forces aren't having to carry that burden, and our guys are covering that burden multiple times over 16 years of war. So.
Wow, that's amazing. So it's not just Iraq and Afghanistan and Syria. It's not just the Philippines. That's 4 countries?
Yes.
Wow.
All over the world.
That's amazing. So you have the Next Ridgeline. I've met Jen Paquette.
Yes.
And Jen Paquette is a force to be reckoned with.
She is.
And she's the executive director. She runs this shop. What's her passion? What's the reason why she does what she does?
She is passionate about our mission because her husband is a Green Beret as well, who was injured. And she too also saw the gaps in support for our guys and their families. And that's why she founded the Steel Mags as well, because she saw that there is a need for the spouses to get together and help provide resources to their husbands, or just talk about the needs and share ideas and get that knowledge out there.
So we've talked about the Steel Mags on the show before when we had Tears on the show. But can you tell us a little bit more about what the Steel Mags are and what their purpose is?
The Steel Mags, they're an elite group of ladies. They could be mothers, sisters, and wives of Green Berets. We have some Gold Star wives as well, and mothers. And basically we have like an online forum that we help, everybody gets connected. We have 8 chapters that are set up in country where they can talk and, talk about the issues, like I said, and support each other, and support their children as well.
So I've got to brag about this. The Veterans Alternative and the Steel Mags got the partner for a summit this summer. We had 19 Steel Mags there.
We did.
Tell me a little bit about what that experience was like. And that was at St. Leo University, right down here in the Central Florida area. So what was that experience like for you? And how was it for the women? That was the first time you all came together.
Yes, because a lot of these ladies have only met virtually because of the logistics of where they live. So it was great for ladies to get together, and kind of share. The guys kind of have their brotherhood. This is kind of like a sorority, a sisterhood, to where they could finally meet each other, get together, talk, and hug one each other, and just connect through your program was amazing. I've never seen anything like it. I think it was one of the first of its kind.
It was the first of its kind. I've not heard of a sorority coming together for a retreat like that, military sorority coming together for a retreat like that ever. It was fun.
It was definitely fun.
And it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for you.
Oh, thank you.
That's
no,
the
my
truth.
whole team, actually, we all helped, and your team was amazing in helping us put it together. And I still utilize the therapies that were given to us and on a daily basis.
So let me ask, you were able to bring everybody together. What was that for the Steel Mags? Like, what is it now, 5 months later?
5 months later, they're still talking about how wonderful it was to get to meet and just, share their experiences, realize that they're not alone. Like sometimes the Green Berets, they feel as if they're alone. And sometimes the ladies do too, so this is their chance to still, use the resources that your foundation provided, and it's just a great experience.
So the Steel Mags is really a support arm of the Green Beret Foundation. Really, it's a support arm of the Green Berets they serve.
Correct.
The Green Berets that they're married to, they're Green Berets. So what's next for the Steel Mags? What's the goal that they have in mind?
Probably looking out, we would love to set up a chapter in Landstuhl in Japan as well. Those are
Wow.
kind of in the future. We would definitely love to extend out to those guys and girls to help get them support while they're in different countries.
So would this be the first ones that you have overseas?
Correct.
Wow, that'll be huge. So you guys are going global.
Local.
Is the Green Beret Foundation already found in some of those areas?
Yes, we do. We help guys, in Landstuhl all the time.
Yep.
We help fly families over when they're needed, or in Japan, we support a lot of stuff for First Group in Okinawa. So we definitely have a big GBF footprint. So it's going to be awesome to add the footprint as well for the Steel Mags.
So the Green Beret Foundation, you're developing the next Ridgeline. It keeps on building,
Correct.
and you're having people reach out to you. What's the goals that you have for the next Ridgeline as it continues to grow?
Our goal is to help, like I said, take Green Berets from the team room to the boardroom and really apply. They're the most elite soldiers in the world. So this is
So I'm always excited when the CARE Coalition Conference comes around. And I found some things useful this time around
Right.
as well. What did you get out of this year's CARE Coalition Conference?
I love to hear what's going on in SOF, what's coming, the 5-year plan, what's going forward, and what plans are to support our Green Berets and families more. What I saw a lot this year is talks about TBI and PTS and what we can do to help fill those gaps, maybe provide
So traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress and some of the ways that we can help guys overcome those issues. They also talked a little bit about transition itself.
Correct.
So did you see spectrums where the Green Beret Foundation can help and assist with the CARE Coalition?
I did. We actually spoke a little about it, so I want to get to know more about what they're doing, where the Green Beret Foundation can maybe step in and help cover some of those financial burdens.
Yeah, it's so awesome to think about the organizations that are out there supporting our elite warriors. I got to tell you that every interaction that I've had with you, I've been blown away. Because I think you're a special person.
Oh,
and
thank you.
You've helped out with so many different situations, personal teammates who've passed away. Why do you do what you do?
I just love the community. I love supporting, Green Berets and their families. I just like being able to help them. I've always said when a Green Beret asks for support, you need to help because that's hard for them to ask. And I don't want that to have to be a hard ask. It should be a conversation, and I should be able to extend help to them and them not feel like they have to ask. So I think that's really important that we feel like any Green Beret can call us and say, hey, I need assistance for, X, Y, and Z, and I should be able to step in and help. Or if I can't help with that specific thing, I can find another foundation or contact I can link them together and they can help if it doesn't fit in our mission.
The great Angie, I got to ask you, if someone wants to reach out to the Green Beret Foundation, how do they get in contact with you?
The best way, if they need support, would be to go to greenberetfoundation.org and put a request in through our support line.
And then they can also find Green Beret Foundation on Facebook. I see you're very active on there.
Yes, we have a great Facebook following. We also have the Next Ridgeline on Facebook as well, so you can ask to be a member or apply to be a member in our program for your Green Beret. And then the Stomags as well. You can get on the website and ask to be part of the Stomags.
I can't thank you enough. Guys, the CARE Coalition Conference, each year it happens, and we have great resources like the Green Beret Foundation coming together with the other organizations we've been able to interview. It's each year, it's right here in the Tampa Bay area. Find out ways that you can support some of these great organizations. The Green Beret Foundation is one of the very best. Thank you so much, Angie, for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Hey there, it's Andrew Campanella with National School Choice Week. And even though I run National School Choice Week, I'm also a resident of Florida. And I'm excited to tell you about a great event being planned by folks here in Florida and in particular in Pasco County. It's called Celebrate Youth, and it's taking place January 27th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Pasco County Safety Town. It's a community-based School Choice Week event, and it will feature rock climbing, a petting zoo, a bouncy house, food vendors, and free family fun for so many people, thousands of people. I have the opportunity to see thousands of different events planned all across the country during School Choice Week. And I can tell you that this event on January 27th will really put Florida in a positive light. This state is already doing so much to provide effective education options for kids, and events like this that invite everybody from the community to come and visit are ways that families can learn more about the school choice options available for their kids. So if you can, sponsor this event. By sponsoring this event, you will help get even more families out to it so they can learn about the options available to them and their kids have more educational opportunities. So January 27th, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Celebrate Youth at the Pasco County Safety Town. Thanks so much.
How you doing? Anthony here, Four Corners Boxing. Here to invite you all out to Sims Park Saturday, November 11th for the boxing event in the park. 6 to 8 p.m. Be there.
Brian Anderson, again, here at the Waterville Clubhouse, joined by two great men. I've got Colonel Kerry Harbaugh from the CARE Coalition, and I've got our director of the Waterville Limited, Jay Conley. Guys, thank you so much for allowing us to do this interview. First of all, this week we have some SOCOM guys here, and they're on a soft retreat and they're learning golf. How did this come to be?
Well, Go ahead, sir.
Well, initially, it was energized by a good friend in the audience, Tom Gates, and we had the opportunity to meet with SOCOM, and for the little village of Waterville, 450 people, for them to entrust the tip of the spear, the best, the highest trained of the soldiers. It was an honor for that, but also they have, from experience now, they've discovered that golf is a blessing, and it makes magical things happen. And this will be our 3rd year, and the magic continues, as you see, as you've seen every day here.
Colonel, you've talked a little bit about golf, and I saw you chipping yesterday outside of the Waterville house. Beautiful.
Probably not, didn't watch it too close, but okay.
I saw you. Our window was facing right there, and I'm not going to say what your shots looked like, but you saw the little green there. You've seen the guys here. What is it about golf for folks who are coming home from war? What is it that makes it so healthy for them to have that practice?
Well, I think that, first of all, adaptive sports, we use all adaptive sports as a rehabilitative instrument to help the guys recover. And what we find particularly great about the game of golf is it's the concentration aspects, focus that's required to play the game, but even more so the camaraderie that's produced out of the game, the peer mentoring that happens between Wounded Warrior when they're out on the course together. Also, many of them new to the sport, don't necessarily play golf. I'd say across the soft community, while we have quite a number of golfers, we also have quite a number that have never touched the game. So when they have the opportunity to get out and feel what this game is about, in particular when something like, as Mr. Conley provided this accessibility to a tremendous facility that they have here in Waterville, Ireland, the ability for them to get out there and touch the game in a special way. Golf, you have to view golf has a spiritual component to it, and I'm not speaking from a religious tone here, but a spiritual component about the game that helps these guys pull back inside themselves, reflect, commiserate, and share. So all of those factors kind of tie together in why golf has become an important adaptive event, a sport event for our guys from a rehabilitative aspect. We've got golf happening in other places for our Wounded Warriors. We're providing more access to it. And what this environment does is allow those guys to sample it and then spread that, be prophets out to the soft community, in particular the Wounded Warriors of Special Ops, to say, hey, you need to touch, you need to get involved in the sport.
So,
gain that from this.
For our viewing audience, really, can you tell me what the mission of the CARE Coalition is?
Well, sure. The CARE Coalition's responsibilities, it is one of the 5 Warrior Care programs under the Department of Defense, recognized by Congress as of 2013, and it is one of the service-like responsibilities that the SOCOM commander has as overwatching SOF as a service, not an official service, but as a service. And we have approximately 12,000, just under that, 11,900 and so just as of last week, wounded, ill, and injured SOF service members, both in active duty and veteran status. Our primary focus is to provide recovery care coordination to our wounded, ill, and injured, and it extends across those frameworks. So it's combat wounded, it's those that get sick, all in the midst of their duties, and it's those that get injured in training or in what befalls them in life. We support them through that process, help them recover with a real focus on retaining them in the Special Ops Force. We make a huge investment in the Special Operator. The training is the highest level of intensity, and what we gain from that, once we had somebody that's made it through the crucible of selection, assessment, and then brought into the SOF Force, is somebody who's not replaceable easily. So what we try to do is help pull them back into the SOF Force. We're able to do that at phenomenal rates. We're retaining about 73% of those that get enrolled with our program. And we're proud of that factor because that is, in fact, that return on investment for the Special Operations Commander.
That's huge. That's a huge number, 73%. So that's a lot of focus that you have on it. Jay, he talked a little bit about learning the game of golf. So you've brought these special operators to Ireland, to your places as director, and they've been in a peaceful, beautiful environment. And then you've brought instruction to them on how to play the game of golf. Can you talk a little bit about that and the folks that we have here teaching our warriors?
Yes. Well, I think, first of all, the particular amphitheater that we have here of a beautiful links golf course, it's unique. There are 30,000 golf courses in the world, and there are only about less than 300 that are true links golf courses. So you're bringing them to a beautiful place, and the introduction to the game is being provided by the Higgins family, in particular Liam Higgins, who was he preceded our involvement in Waterville, and his two sons, Brian and David. Brian runs the pro shop, and David's on the tour. And they're joined also by a gentleman who's a professional from Dublin called Jimmy Kinsella. So there is an informal Irish way of teaching the game of golf to the uninitiated, and these guys are masters at that. It's not like you're taking a lesson at Augusta National or something, but it's really communicating and linking together with the wounded, and they've had now coming up on 3 years of experience doing that, and they are truly special. And the magic and the bubbling out of excitement for the guys that probably takes a lot to excite them to start with, indicates that the program's working, and we're very fortunate that we have the staff both at the golf course and at Waterville House to make that all an enjoyable experience.
So in the last 5 days, you've had these instructors that have dialed these guys in, from the putting green to the drivers to their short game, out there on the links. Have you seen improvements in their game? Some of the guys I know came here, never played golf, never picked up a club before in their life.
Yes, I've made a very important discovery that the majority of the people that have received instruction have really blossomed. However, in your particular case, you're still trying to figure out the grip.
It's been a tough process. It's not really true. You guys have video of me playing golf. It's great. So today the guys get to play 18 holes.
Right.
And this is the first time they're playing 18 holes all the way through. You get to play along with them. You came here yesterday. What's it been like? How have you seen these guys since they've gotten here? What have you seen from them, and what have they said about the enjoyment of the game of golf?
Oh well, from the moment I met them yesterday afternoon when I arrived, the guys were already beaming. Now, first of all, set little context with the guys. They're special operators. They're world-class athletes to start. So even those that are new to the game, with good instruction and kind of the great instruction that Jay and his team here are providing them, they're able to pick it up. Now, they at the same time appreciate that the game has amazing difficulty and complexity. So, and you're taking it into an environment of true links golf on the Irish coast with high winds and rain and all the other things that you address in any given Irish day. So you add that to it. That challenge, though, is something that inspires these guys. So look at how inspired they are. Look at their faces and how motivated they are, and that is exactly what Mr. Conley and Tom and you and all that are involved in this project are trying to get out of this. Is it see how it brings the guys to the game, see how it brings them out of their shell to deal with whatever they're dealing with, because all of these guys that came are wounded warriors. They've all dealt with the wounds of war, whatever those may be. One of them a very ill warrior. They are having to address that day in and day out. these ability to take yourself away from that, to embed yourself in a game of, that touches your soul the way that golf does, in an environment like this, with instructors that are motivating you and finding the joy in life and in the game. It's immeasurable in what it does for these fellas. So I think that from what I saw, was no surprise to me when I arrived yesterday to find that I had a crop of Wounded Warriors sitting here just glowing about what they're doing and how their game is blossoming, and those that had just picked it up about where their game was headed, to the point they were already talking trash to me, and I've been playing the game for 50 years. So it's like, okay, already I'm taking heat. I'm looking forward to getting out there and hitting some balls with it today.
So he kind of brought up a fun part of it. A lot of guys, they rag each other. They joke around, they kid. In this group, from what I've seen, we've come together in a really unique way. What have you seen from the group and that camaraderie that has kind of built up?
Well, I think one of the things, and I call it the fraternity of golf, they all know the trauma of a have-to-make 3-foot putt, right? And they also know the unexpected shank, or the taking 3 shots, get out of the bunker now. So it's every shot is something new, but it also gives your friends and maybe your competitors an opportunity to give you a little bit of a bump. And golfers are good at that, as you just show. As you just received my bump. But it's part of the fraternity, it's part of the fun of the game, it's part of the socializing, and it just makes for the visit to the 19th hole more enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, Jay, you've done this for 3 years. You've invited the soft community to your place, to your links. Why?
Well, my experience in the military was as a helicopter pilot, and my first tour of duty, the first 6 months, I was assigned to the 281st Assault Helicopter Company, which was under the operational control, the full operational control of the 5th Special Forces Group. So I had the opportunity of flying out of I Corps, out of the Da Nang C Team, and I lived with these guys and knew all of them intimately, all the A camps, and we, the helicopter pilots, loved them, and they loved us because we were always there. So to have the opportunity 50 years later to do something different but still be involved with the fraternity, it's a blessing for me.
One of the things that I've heard a couple of the guys say was really unique is how you and Mr. Tom Gates have brought something like this to the table, and now you have generations that are taking care of one another. What have you seen from that relationship, from your generation working with this current generation of Wounded Warriors?
I think there's a lot more that can be done. You have the high-profile celebrity type situation, and then you have the sort of the low-key, under-the-wire group like we have here. But there are so many different opportunities that the private sector can bring, and everybody knows that it is. I mean, what is a better cause than supporting the military that have been exposed to combat and have really stepped forward to fight for their country? There's nothing better.
We're really blessed. Let me just take off that. We're really blessed in the special operations community to have, one, we have a tremendous broader community of support to the Special Operations service members and their families through, you know, there's more benevolent organizations than I can count that have that orientation. Some of them smaller, but some, you know, large that provide everything from financial support to wellness opportunities like what Jay has put together here through Tom. The fact is that we see there's a brotherhood of arms that continues regardless of as the generations grow. These men are, this man sitting next to me and his partners that are just off camera, are warriors themselves, and our brotherhood knows that. You know, as a warrior yourself, this is something we all share. It's in our blood. It does not leave us, no matter how old we get. And the fact is, there's respect that for what our current generation of warriors is doing, and the stress on that force that these gentlemen have, because they understand it, because they bore that in their generation, and they are extending that out. And it is an absolute honor to be around men like this that want to do so much for our guys. But we view these gentlemen as nothing more than our older brothers. There are our great uncles that have been there for us, are looking out for us, and still looking over our shoulder. And we're honored to be with them.
I was out there on one of the holes right before you turn the corner to go along. It's you know, you had the little river coming through, and it was low tide, so there was, you know, it was kind of broken up. And I looked out there and I saw the rocks, and I saw the other side, and it reminded me a little bit of Afghanistan. And as I was about to take a shot with my 3-wood out of the rough, the only thing that came up in my mind is, when am I going to play a game of golf in Afghanistan? And there was a lot of peace in that. So to both of you, to Mr. Tom Gates, thank you very much for putting this together and allowing us warriors to be a part of it. And it's definitely meaningful. It's definitely meaningful. Is there anything either one of you would like to add about the SOCOM community, this golf venture that we're on?
All I would say is God bless you, Colonel, Tommy, and you know, you're making it very easy on me, and you're a great part of the success, and thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And I would tell you that we, again, it is such an honor to have such great folks that are looking out for our guys and provide these opportunities. From the standpoint of, it's not something that we ask for. It's the grace and generosity of folks like Jay and Tom that build these opportunities for our guys. It is heartfelt, our thanks. It is, as you see from the way the guys react to it, this is something that means an awful lot to them, and they carry that back to their families, and the attitude that they carry back, it helps them in their recovery, and a tremendous benefit to our force. And our force is very grateful, the Special Operations community, and on behalf of General Thomas, the Commander of U.S. Special Operations, you know, our most heartfelt thanks and gratitude to you for what you're doing for our special operators.
So now it's time for you to go lose at golf.
That may be, and we will go out there and show the flag, and hopefully not our butts. But that's it.